What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan the Realtor. Why is it still a seller's market? Today, we're going to talk about the power of other people's money in real estate. We got the DMV real estate report, the real estate hot or not, and we're going to jump into the comment section. Welcome to the Real Estate Wire, folks. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan the Realtor.
Coach Marcus, what up?
Today, we got a special guest. We got a recurring guest, actually.
He ain't well, depending on how you define special.
I'm gonna start introducing it books like this, yo.
Hip hop.
Yeah, like he got grapes in his mouth. What up, hip hop? We got Nick Bush, the Realtor, in the house, everybody. I'm gonna put the
What up?
I'm gonna put the clap.
No curse word.
Nick Bush coming already violated. You already violated.
30 seconds in.
Did it cut me out? Oh no,
Marcus looked at me like, bro, you can't be doing
Like
that.
this ain't the address.
My daughter listened to this show, man.
Hey, she
Do I
trying
sound
to.
like that, bro?
You do.
I sound like that?
Have you never heard yourself on anything ever?
It's an inside joke for us now because I know when he doing, I know what he talking about.
I be like, yeah, man. So today on the Real Estate Wire, my name is Dan Wheeler, local realtor here in the DMV area.
It would not fit.
Thanks for having me. I
you can't
appreciate
be-
y'all, you know?
You missing mad pauses, B. You missing mad pauses.
Speaking
Oh,
of
that was a major pause. Hey,
Hey, look. Speaking of that, Cameron and Mason show. Y'all watch that?
Speaking of not fitting,
Man,
what is
listen. Cameron and Mace,
Mm.
like their shit was
So you don't know who that is.
I do.
He wasn't allowed to listen to it back then.
Go ahead. What you about to say?
But like that's all they do the whole time.
I
But
know
like,
who Cameron and Mace are.
okay,
I know who they both are. I know Mace a little bit more because that's when I started listening to hip hop.
okay, shiny suit Mace.
With
But
Mace?
I know. I understand. It's embarrassing.
listen, I
It's embarrassing. But it was the what was the joint he did with Diddy, P Diddy, Puff Daddy,
all
Puff
of
Diddy,
them,
Puff
all of
Daddy.
them.
Everything.
It was the first joint that he came out with. The more money we come across,
More money, more problems.
Yeah.
That's that Biggie verse is one of my karaoke songs. So let me ask y'all a question. What's your karaoke song? If you had to do karaoke.
Mace, knowing unchanged but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. I'm the young Harlem Pen with the golden sound. So know me now. Hootie, stay low, blow like Hootie. Say to my cutie. I'm hip hop. I'm hip hop to the core. I'm hip hop to the core of me.
If you could, you probably could guess like
Believe it.
almost anything Usher back in the day.
Believe
Like
it.
from
Oh, you gonna sing?
Confess-
You gonna
I
sing?
ain't,
on
I
the
ain't, I ain't
You about
rap.
to sing?
No, I'm not singing. But I'm saying is like he asked.
Big
What,
asses,
what-
we just get
what-
sing again?
what you say?
No, I said you did sing that one time. That one time. It
You
was
did
something.
sing.
Yeah, I did. But
You
that
don't
was
have
on
to. It
a
was
challenge,
good,
and I'm not doing.
Yeah.
What
Thank
are we
you.
talking about though? What are you
I don't
saying?
He asked about what my karaoke song was, and you started.
What
And
is
you went
our
into your
karaoke song?
Mace, whatever you want to call that. And I said probably anything Usher. He's like, you want to sing? I'm like, I ain't gonna rap. I'm a singer.
I meant like you gonna okay, you got what I was saying. I'm either doing I can do a lot of different songs, but the big verse from More Money, More Problems, or I'm doing the second verse on Still Not a Player.
Oh, my joint is Kanye West. What's that joint he did with he did that joint with Cameron?
I wanna see you down.
No, not that one where
Down
he's
and
like, I'm a my child gone. That make me want to get my advance out and move to Oklahoma and just leave my aunt house. Yeah, I romanced the thought of leaving it all behind. Kanye step away from the line, like when I was on the grind in the one. Nah. Before model chicks was bending over or dealerships asked me bend her over. Man, if I could get just one beat on Hover, we could get up off the cheap ass sofa for what the summer of the shy got to offer. 18 euro. Something that I got to play Euro. Fired a week later, the manager cop churro. Now we up in Europe. Spend the euros.
Shouts to Kanye the GOAT.
Oh,
Hey.
Diamonds Are Forever.
That's not Diamonds
Oh.
Are
That's not Diamonds Are Forever?
No.
Which one is that?
That's all
That
graduation.
might be gone off of late registration.
Oh, yeah, that is late. Yeah.
Which reminds me, there's a post, and no, we ain't talking about nothing we're supposed to be talking about, but there's a post that says Kanye's College Dropout, Late Registration, and Graduation are the best trilogies of all time.
Those just bad.
And I would not argue that.
But what about
Like,
my Dr.
I mean, I support
Fantasy?
Are they trilogies? It's not
I mean,
like
not so much trilogy,
Yeah, it
but
makes
like
sense, though. It was
but
like
not
all
like
that
Rocky 1,
college-
2, 3. But I'm saying
Yeah.
like back to back to back.
What are you saying?
It was like a theme of
No,
songs.
he has 6 straight classic albums.
No, but they talk about
Graduation,
What?
late registration. I'm sorry,
No, same
college
in
dropout,
order.
late registration, graduation, then 808s and Heartbreaks.
Yeah,
classic.
no, but you're not understanding.
Then
They're saying
Devil's
the trilogy because it was college dropout, graduation, late registration.
I
Like,
feel
all
that.
that's like a college theme. That's why they talking about. Like,
I feel that, but then he went and made 2 more classic albums
and they
after
were
that.
dark.
And then he did Watch the Throne.
But those were dark.
Straight 6.
But ain't Jesus in there somewhere?
Yeezus is a classic.
I ain't never heard it.
Yeezus is On Sight, the first track. Crazy.
Yeah, I never heard it. Never heard it.
Gave him an inch, he took a mile. I'm talking about 3.
He starts the album. He starts Yeezus and says
You missing
Yeezy
that
season approaching. I ain't gonna do it.
All right,
Well, speaking of Yeezy, we need to figure out why it's still a seller's market, bro. I thought that we were gonna have a crash. There's gonna be a buyer's market.
ain't no such thing.
And we about to have, houses 50% off. It's gonna be a fire sale. It's going down. What happened, yo? That's what we trying to figure out.
What's keeping current matters say?
Well, let's funny you should ask.
I'm gonna say because I know that's what you're gonna look at.
They always got the
They got the
juice.
jewels.
So, according to Keeping Current Matters, even though activity in the housing market is slow from the frenzy that was the quote-unquote unicorn years, it's still a seller's market because the supply of homes is still low. I mean, I feel like we've said this a few times, but I think repetition for emphasis, right?
Mm-hmm.
Repetition is the father of learning. I repeat, repetition is the father of learning. But what I did hear through the grapevine is that they're getting ready to adjust. Did you hear this, Nick? That they're getting ready to adjust the buyer's market, seller's market scale because it's like ridiculously hard for us to get to.
You talking about with the months of inventory?
With the months of inventory,
You're about to change the definition of what a buyer's and
I
seller's
think
market
that's
means.
what they're like.
That's like
having
I
that
said to you
conversation.
last week or 2 weeks ago. Like y'all realtors change these definitions. Y'all like make it what y'all want it to be.
That's
well,
correct.
the original buyer's market meant seven months of supply, correct?
Yeah, it was like 7 months plus.
Yeah. So why are they changing it? What's the value of that?
Well, because what they're saying. Well, let me get this heat right. All right. What they're saying is that, and this is just what I heard through the grapevine, but practically we're kind of in a buyer's market right now, even though we still have upward pressure on prices, with the days on market increasing and the buyer's ability to kind of like get closing costs, get seller credit, maybe get some repairs on property compared to what we just came out of. Because I think all of it's comparative.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're kind of saying, well, maybe 6 months is just not even a thing that's going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Like, are we ever going to get 6 months of inventory again? So are we just going to be at a seller's market infinitely?
Yeah.
Like,
So they need to restructure and redefine what a buyer's market and a seller's market is. They basically need to update the model. Is what they're saying. Yeah, because I don't know when we're gonna be in a buyer's market again. We're like 17 days, average days on market. It's either 17 or 22.
Yeah,
which is like super high compared to last year, 2 years ago.
But what's the average though? Like, because we know that like the last 3-4 years is kind of unicorn. But like, what's the average days on the market? Like when we're talking about a consistent, stable, healthy setup.
It's either we looked at the stats last week. It's either on average in this region. I think it's 17 days the average days on market right now. So like 2.5 weeks. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what it is. But I think that we're probably in a more balanced market than people want to admit. Like I think overall people need to get over like buyer's market or seller's market because it really just makes sellers or buyers not want to make a move, right? You're trying to, it's always just like, oh, let's game it out. Should we sell in the seller's market, right? Mm-hmm. Should we not sell in the buyer's market? But it's like, no, you got to do whatever you want to do. But I think it's keeping a lot of people handcuffed to like, to not like they don't make a move because they're waiting for something to shift. And I think we're probably in a more normal market. The only reason we're in the seller's market is because inventory is low. But aside from like inventory being low, that factor, it's a pretty normal market. The cream of the crop sells over ask with multiple offers, and everything else is kind of like normalized. You can get closing costs as a buyer, and you can have all your contingencies in. So I think the market is more normal than people want to believe.
I mean, yeah, that just depends on what the definition of normal is.
Let me say, I feel like there's a lot of my old boss used to say, like, there's a lot of noise, right? Because there's a lot of, it's almost like over informed, like seller's market, buyer's market, all the, it's like, okay, can we kind of just dumb all that down and quiet that down a little bit and just say, okay, what's making sense? Is this house really worth it? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, and I think if there's too many labels, you know, the first player since 1973 to hit a free throw with Jordans on, and you know, whatever, like you have all these different, you know what I'm saying, random stats. I'm like, yo, let's just bring the noise down and say, okay, does this deal make sense? Can you afford it? The market is what it is. Rates are what they are. It's going to change because it always comes back. Let's look at the, you know, the trends. Let's kind of ignore to some degree what happened in the last 3 years, but let's just look at what we traditionally have seen. And I think that it'll help people kind of streamline their focus and say, is this a good deal or not deal for me?
I've been saying for a long time, like, why does it matter? I be telling them, like, why does it matter?
Well,
you know what I mean?
The buyer,
yeah, like, so what? Like, do you, and if you engage in the market, as long as you're engaging in the market, like, you're going to find the deal that makes sense for you or the house that makes sense for you. So it doesn't even matter whether it's a buyer's or a seller's market. I think that, you know, people like to, because look, the last seller's market, which was horrible for buyers, actually turned out being the best thing for buyers.
Freaking great.
Now they got 3% or sub 3% rates, and they all got $100,000 in equity, 10, 20% of equity. So the last seller's market was the best time for buyers, and which is like part of the reason we have no inventory. So it doesn't even matter what the market is.
Yeah,
it just matters that you, like, you know, make a move.
Yeah,
and make it make sense for you.
So
I rock with it.
They're saying, I mean, basically, we're at 18 days on market right now.
You see me with the stats, bro?
Yeah, that's kind of clutch. I mean, but this is 30 days behind, so you could be. But anyway, so the article continues. Today, we're nowhere near what's considered to be a balanced market. Now, again, I think we still need to superimpose what I said earlier on top of this article because they're still going by what I would consider to be the old model, which is 12 months of like 7 to 12 months of inventory being a buyer's market. In my opinion, my humble opinion, which I think probably somewhere closer to like 3 months of inventory is a buyer's market, 3 months plus. Anything below 3 months of inventory, I think is a seller's market where we just came, because I mean, we just came out of like a week of inventory, like 1 week it's gone. So 3 months is a significant slowdown when you come off of, you know, 30 offers on a property and, you know, average days on market like 3 or 4 days or whatever. But they're saying that today we're still not considered anywhere near a balanced market. In fact, the current months of supply is half what it is in a typical normal market. And this means that there's just not enough houses to go around. And again, you're exactly right, bro. I think most people's decisions, I mean, it's like this. If you were really making a decision purely based on numbers, you would have bought in a 2% interest rate market. You would have, if you were purely numbers based, I think that, you know, it doesn't really matter. It's just like, yo, how much you trying to pay per month? And then we just backfill you, into your house, and then whatever you can afford, you can afford. Now, if you can't afford, you know, the luxury lifestyle that you feel like you deserve, well, then that's probably a conversation that you need to have, you know, with your wife, and, you know, maybe pick up some side hustles, because the renting lifestyle is, you can get like, you know, paying $4,000 a month and get like a dope spot somewhere downtown or whatever, or you could take that, you know, half of that and get a solidly decent house in one of your secondary markets. But that extra $2,000 or $3,000 that you're spending to rent a luxury apartment, you could cut that in half and get you a decent house. And then over the long term, 10 years, 15 years, you're going to be light years ahead of that person. All things being equal. I know there's the Grant Cardone, like, never own your house, just use all the money in savings and then invest aggressively. 90% of people ain't going to do that.
Or Kiyosaki, who's like, your house is just, your primary residence isn't an asset. It's just like, that's not real. That's not.
Well, I kind of agree and disagree with that part. I think it's a little bit more nuanced than just like, it's an asset, it isn't an asset. I mean, I think it just depends on what you define an asset as. If you define an asset as something that makes you money, then you could say that your car is an asset if you're renting your car out, like on Turo. You could call that an asset. I don't believe cars are assets, but I'm just saying.
Well, your primary residence is an asset because it grows in value. You know what I mean? Like, and if you wanted to, you could rent out a room or rent out the basement or whatever. So your primary residence can easily turn into assets. Like, to even have an Airbnb in DC, you can only do it with your primary residence, right?
But an asset also, I mean, but if it's costing you money, then it's a liability, right? So you still have liabilities. So, like, I've got an apartment building. I got liabilities associated with that asset.
Yeah.
It's not really like cut and dry like the water bill. That's a liability. I mean, it's an expense, but
in that regard, there's no assets because you won't always have to pay taxes.
Exactly. And in that regard, you can always convert a liability into an asset if you can get it to cash flow. Like if you got a car, your insurance is a liability, right? But if you can rent it out per day on Turo, you can turn it into an asset.
Car's not. I don't think the car's liability as much as it is the money that you spend.
The car note.
Yeah, because it's coming out of your. But I think you gave a very simple and effective definition. An asset is something that grows in value.
No, I said that.
No, you didn't. You did not.
No, I said an asset is something that makes you money.
Thanks, dog.
Replay that shit. Who said what? I don't remember.
I know you don't.
Sound like I said
something.
It came from
it came from this side of the room, yo.
But okay, well then let me ask you this. If an asset purely is something that grows in value, if your house is upside down and it's deflating, is it no longer an asset?
I think it's still an asset. It's just that it's going down in value.
So then it's not an asset
because of the overall market and other things that are determining the values are not as high as they
So that's what I'm saying. Like an asset is a pure asset, irrespective of the market.
But I think it's a longer term play, because unless you in a investment fix and flip like type of mindset, then yes, that is a liability because the market is going down. But at the same time, if that was the case, a smart investor probably would not be buying that anyway, because
not necessarily.
So this is what I tell my people,
but you wouldn't go in as an investor. You're not going into it knowing like I'm going to lose money on this, unless you see that let me take the hit on this one.
So if I buy a house, according to what you're saying, if I buy a house with the intent of rehabilitating it and then rehabbing it. I mean, that is the real word. Rehabilitate, like a prison, and rehabbing it and then putting it back on the market, and then I don't make money on it. You're saying that was not an asset, according to what you just said?
No, it was an asset.
You're saying it was an asset, even though I lost money on it.
No, what I said was if you wouldn't buy a property in a market where you know that thing that you're buying is going to be a liability or it's going to fail. Like you wouldn't do that. Imagine you buying a 4-unit building in DC that's worth less than what you're gonna buy it for, or when you rent it out, you're not going to be able to make your money on the mortgage unless you say, look, I'm going to take these losses. I'm going to take a $500 loss every month for these next 12 to 18 months because I know that when this market turns, it's going to double in value.
So you're saying the definition of an asset is subjective?
Apparently, by this conversation, I think the definition of an asset is subjective.
That's impossible.
But Nick gave the what I think is the most clear
I'm contesting
definition.
His definition, because if you buy a house from Nick's definition, and it goes down in value, you're saying that the house is no longer an asset because it didn't go up in value.
So
according to your definition.
So you like in the weeds and spinning at the same time, right? All I'm saying is 2 definitions of an asset that can be useful for this conversation.
You only gave one.
An asset is something that essentially you can buy something and make money from it, right? So that's the traditional. I can buy this and I can make more money and I can make money off of this. In real estate, that's cash flow, right? I also feel like an asset is something that you buy and it grows in value, right? So if I buy a crib and it grows $200,000 in 10 years, 20 years, that was an asset, even if it didn't cash flow me while I was in there, because there's a gain from
saw the long term.
Because it's a long-term play. Now, when we talk about real estate and when you hear the gurus talk about real estate being an asset, what they're mentioning is cash flow. I think that people, the regular Joe with the average Joe, needs to consider both things, because the average person is not about to be some super savvy real estate investor, right? Who is going to accumulate all these assets. Even a real estate agent can have a hard time with the property that should be a pure asset, right? But by buying your primary residence, you're gonna get a return. Just like the stock market crashes sometimes, but historically you're gonna get a 7% return. So eventually, regardless of whatever, you're gonna have an asset. If you held your property that crashed in 06, 07, the market has recovered, so it's an asset again. And when I have buyers, what I just tell them is, look, yo, like it's harder now because of where the rates are and where mortgage payments are. But it's like, look, yo, like if you buy this crib, make sure that what your mortgage payment is, you can rent it out for, right? At least you break even, or you're okay with a $100, $200 hit. Because if the market crashes, right, the only reason that matters to someone is if like they need to sell their house. Right. If you don't need to sell your house, the market crashes. Who cares? You just live in it and wait for it, right?
Right.
Or if you can rent it out for more than what the mortgage payment is, you also are in good position.
And I think that's great advice. Let me ask you this though. And I know we're on this topic. So we're talking about market crash. Are we talking about real estate market crash? Or we're talking about overall, like we fall into like a recession. You can't make your mortgage payment. Because in my mind, even if the overall market crashes for real estate, but I still have my job and I'm still making money or, whatever, and I can pay my mortgage, I don't have a need to sell my house. I don't have a need to try to rent it out or whatever. Like I'm still good because I'm making money and I can afford the bills that I've got. So, are you saying that those type of people? What market are you speaking of?
Like all I'm saying is like if you own a property, you don't need to worry about the crash unless you need to sell.
Okay.
Otherwise, you just chilling.
Okay.
You can wait for the value to come back. I'm with that. So yeah.
Yeah,
we're on the same page.
I think that leads us to the next topic, which is the Coach's Corner. The power of OPM. What you got for us, Coach?
Thank you for the clarity on what OPM stood for.
What does OPM stand for, Coach?
Office of Personnel Management. No, other people's money.
You down with OPP? Yeah, no. You know, man.
So there was a recent survey over the last 9 months that 40% of buyers under the age of 30 either use a cash gift from a family member or they got some inheritance to afford their down payment.
That's great.
It is great.
Hater.
You said that's great?
No, that's great. That's dope. Like,
yeah.
Shouts to them.
You a hater, bro.
I'm happy for them. I think that's great. That's great. Like, I'm gonna give my
You're
kids
a hater,
money
bro.
too. Like, that's great.
Hater, yo.
I'm celebrating those people. I'm
those
celebrating
people.
y'all.
Yeah.
And some people don't have it. But if you can get it from a direct family member, that's cool. You pull it from your retirement 401k, you can do that. The reason why I said Office of Personnel Management, because in the government, like you kind of go through that OPM, which is the kind of HR setup, tap into your 401k, TSP, and you can pull money from that as well. So I don't know why you geeking today. But sometimes what this article is saying is that it matters so much in this housing market because of how expensive housing has become. And it says that the only way to kind of get your foot in the door in this housing market is to have some help or have an exceptionally high income at a younger age. So we know that what was it, Gen Z? And what was the generation we were talking about last week? The younger generation that's buying right now.
Gen Z, yeah.
They're like around 24 years old or so. You got a lot of those buyers in the market. They want to buy. They've educated themselves. They've been able to be pre-approved, but they still need some money and some help. So even that 3% or 3.5% for FHA, you can get money from mom, dad. They can help you out. You got retirement 401k. You may not have that, but a gift from family is always a really good idea. There are guidelines that say you can only get it specifically from a family member. So, you know, theoretically, you can say, "Oh, I'm gonna get it from my friend or from my boyfriend." Can't do that. It's against guidelines. So it's always worth the conversation of how you go about getting it. But yes, you don't have to have your own money to buy a home. And there are programs where you don't even have, you can get the down payment and pay your closing costs. Get it as a gift from family. You don't have to have no money in the deal.
So Lauren and I went to San Diego at the end of July. and San Diego's like our happy place. We're gonna eventually move there, right? That's the plan. Maybe like 5 years, 10
Is
years.
that where you met her? Or is that just y'all just loved San Diego?
No, she used to go out there back in the day. Back in the day, like I'm old. And then she put me on, and now we've been out like 3 times. But if you go to San Diego, every day is like a great day. So we want to move there, specifically to this neighborhood called like Ocean Beach, right?
Okay.
Or Point Loma, right? Ocean Beach and Point Loma, they're right next to each other. But we were there at the end of July, and we were driving around Point Loma, and there was an open house sign, right? It was an open house happening, so I went into the open house, and basically I was talking to the agent. I was talking to the agent, trying to get an understanding of the market, and I was like, "Who's buying here?" Because these houses are $2 million, right? I was like, "Who's buying here? Like, what's the demographic? Like, what's the industry?" And he was like, "Well, a lot of these people are like the kids of the parents, right?" And what was happening is parents are gifting their kids $1 million to $2 million, like average, to buy a house in this neighborhood. So there's like a whole generation of kids in San Diego that are getting like $1 million gifts from their parents to buy single family houses.
You got 3 boys?
And I have 3 boys, so that'd be $3 million. They're not getting $1 million gift.
Come on, Nick.
I'll break them off with something. Like, what's the minimum like down payment you need, right?
Put something on it.
But I mean, if I had it, I would do it. But so like the gifting is happening, and I think when people hear that, they think like, oh man, like I'm down bad, or I grew up that how my parents can't give me a gift. It's like, well, even the people that their parents can give them $1 million cash, like they need gifts to buy too. Mm-hmm. So I think it is tough for like I think that's cool that we've gotten to the point in society where you don't need to make your kids struggle, and you're like, you know what, let me give you a little something on the down payment to help you out. But also like Gen Z needs to chill, because in every state, right, and especially in a state like DC, there's so many programs that help you get into your house. Like DC HPAP gives you up to $202,000. And so that covers your down payment, right? And then you can stack that program with DC Open Doors, and DC Open Doors gives you 3%.
You can use both?
You can stack them. Yeah, you can use both together.
Stack them.
So there's so many other ways to get down payment assistance outside of like just needing a gift. But it's good that the parents are offering that up. That means that we're in a good point in society, I think. That's like happening. That is newsworthy.
Yeah. I've seen people give like basically existing homeowners, the parents have a home equity line, and they took that on their primary residence because the value has gone up, and they're using it, keeping in mind that they want to paying for these kids, college, instead of having them get student loans. They're doing home repairs. They've consolidated debt. They've been very good stewards of this home equity line. And then they've also said, look, we're going to earmark, we got 1 or 2 kids, we're going to earmark like 50 grand of this or whatever to be able to split it down the middle, give you 25, that'd be your nest egg for your closing costs or whatever it might be. But then they'll take that money and put it into another account, because you got to make sure that this money is seasoned in some ways if you count it as your own money. But when it's not seasoned, that's when it triggers the gift guidelines. But one of the things is
I had to happen with did I tell you about that?
No, you didn't tell me about that.
This one dude, whose name shall remain nameless, he was buying a house. Then
wait a minute, maybe keep
remember I called you. I was like,
yeah.
So I was like, okay. So he pulled like $6,000 out of the mattress essentially and dropped it in his wife's account.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I was like, bruh. And then he was mad at me, and I was like, bruh, I told you not to do that. Why would you like?
It's always a matter of ask questions. I used to have this, when you think or you've read or you've seen or whatever, you might, okay, I know how to do that now. I watched a YouTube video. Well, probably not right. But like I'm guilty of it, because in 2016, when I first started working in retail lending, I came from the credit union culture. So I knew front and back, like how to, like what the guidelines were, how to do certain things, because I can only do like 3 loans basically at Navy Federal. But when I got into the retail space in 2016, I'm still going into that thinking, I know what this guideline is. I know no. I know the Navy Federal way. So I used to put this sticky up because my boss used to be like, don't touch it. Like let me talk to you about it first, and then let's go forward. Because I would just do it.
Are we all wearing the same color shirt?
Like a shade of green.
That's wild.
Dang, that's crazy.
Okay.
We've been hanging for a minute.
That's weird,
But,
bro.
Dang, bro. What's up with you today, bro?
I don't know.
You good?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm hot though. It's 80 degrees in here.
Yo, you got it baking here, bro. You need to fix the temperature,
That
bro.
might be what it is. You'll be
Okay.
trying
Oh
to
my
trying to-
gosh.
First, it was cold when we got in here.
It was freezing when we got in here, but you put it on 80, bro. It's like
It's
90
because all y'all
outside.
Negroes up in here, man. Y'all increasing the temperature
But
by
it's like
20 degrees per
74,
person.
73, bro. That's a good
I asked you
74.
before, like, y'all hot?
Yeah,
It's
73.
because both
Let's do
y'all
72.
fat. That's why y'all feeling the heat.
No, Marcus is fat, bro.
You got the Instagram post to prove yours. Don't try me.
I got a little,
no.
Hey, what happened to your 75 hard pause?
Bro, it's hard, bro.
It was
You know
like-
what I mean?
How many days you get through?
It's like 12. He did
Look,
like
bro.
6 days.
4?
It was like 6 days.
Did you make it a week?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
You know, the issue is that like it's tough to do that. But I'm on a journey. You know what I mean? Watch, you gonna see a post. I'm gonna be 6-pack Sam out here. You know what I mean?
Dog,
gonna happen.
you're 6
Your
feet.
son will
You're
have a
6
six-pack
feet, bro.
before
You don't need to have a 6-pack.
No, I just want one. I mean,
You're
I'm
married.
not
Like
pressed.
you
I'm
can
not
let
pressed.
yourself go.
No, I'm not. No, you can't do that. I'm
Yeah,
not
you
pressed
can.
to have
You're
a-
good.
But back
No,
to
no,
what
no.
I was saying, though. I'm
I've
saying
let myself
don't.
go.
I was basically
Yeah,
saying.
he was making a good point. You just like randomly.
I know. Y'all wearing the same
ADD,
shirt?
like, yo, we wearing the same shirt. You were saying that your
But basically,
manager.
my old boss was like, "Yo, like, don't touch it because you messing with this loan, and then we move it forward. You didn't ask, so you went off of what you knew, or what you heard, what you read." And he was like, "Ask me first, so before you mess with it." Okay, cool. So I had to write a sticky. I had to make a sticky to myself, and I still have those 3 stickies. And it was like, "Ask first, don't touch it." Like, ask first, don't touch it. And then when I finally got that,
I didn't say.
when I finally got that in my brain, I was like, ask a question. So I'm saying to people that might get money from family or like with your client, ask first, man. Just don't pull money from the mattress and do whatever. Don't just think that you can read and find the gift guidelines online. Like, ask the questions first before you make any moves, and we'll guide you the proper way.
You know,
Now back to the foolishness.
I always hold on. I want to say something on that. I always tell people in part of my buyer's presentation when I'm going over the financing contingency, I always talk about like cars, right? Because I had a client that bought a car during like right before we got under contract on the house, and then he didn't qualify at the end when they got to the financing contingency part. But his parents loaned him $20,000, right? And I tell people like, look, don't buy a car because this could happen. But then I also say, well, like, what happens if you need to buy a car, right? Like, what happens if you have a 30-minute commute to work every day, there's no public transportation around you, and your car dies, you're under contract for a house? I'm like, you don't got to stress the fact that you shouldn't buy a car. I say, what you need to do is you need to call your lender, and you need to say, hey, look, my car just died. I need one. I can't wait these additional 2 weeks, or else I'm not going to be able to get to work. What can I do? And your lender's going to be able to say, okay, you can buy a car, but your payment can't be more than $267 or whatever that is that meets the guidelines for you to loan. So I think that like people are always like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do that. I need a gift from my parents. I can't qualify. And the answer is like, yo, go seek out the information.
Yeah,
and then
sure.
like execute properly on that. Like don't deposit that 6 bands, you know, like some people get the information and then they do the opposite. You know what I mean? So it's like get the information and then execute, and then life would be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into the DMV real estate market update report. I haven't really formulated a good name for it. I need something concise, like by Menon. Yeah, I need something like catchy. Anyway, DMV real estate market report.
What's up with your man today, bro?
That was a Gillette reference for y'all Bammers.
I don't know.
By
don't know.
Menon.
It might
Cole
honestly. It might.
Stanza.
Real talk. I think it might be you today. It might be your fault.
Wow.
What would I do?
You just like when you come here, like it becomes the fellas like more than it normally is. You bring because normally we clicking through or we have a guest. Dan is really. You know,
So wait, there's 2 things that you're doing right now. You're frying my performance, and then you're frying
I'm like,
his
no.
presence.
I'm not joking.
No, it's on the low though. It's like
It
on a,
ain't.
it's like a slow
No,
burn.
I'm just saying, Nick.
No,
Like,
I see you cooking, is what I'm saying, and I'm just I'm flipping your pot over.
What's wrong with you? And I said,
Bro,
oh,
He's
because
slow burning right
look,
now.
I like when Nick come through, but
Whoa, yo.
Nick is a great guest. Anyway, But when it's just you and I, sometimes we,
That's a slow burn, bro. You're slow burning both of us right now. And
y'all
I don't appreciate
y'all
it.
grown, y'all can handle it. Y'all be.
But the shoes is killing, bro.
So
I
he
see how you
said-
lifted up your shoes so
No,
that we
because
can
my
get it off
no,
camera.
because with tendonitis in my knee.
So
is-
basically, what Dan, what Marcus is saying is like, I'm bringing the it's not just the friends out. We just chilling, huh? We just like.
I think it's crazy that we all got the same shirt color on. If y'all watching on a YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this podcast with anybody that you think might think is dope. And tell us why you think we all came with the same color shirt
Marcus'
on.
shirt is more like grayish blue, dog.
It's kind of green to me. Is it gray?
kind of great.
Looks like it's gray. Well, so then what color would you say my shirt? My
It
shirt
looks
looks
green, bro.
Yours is kind of
Yeah, they
more.
look the same color.
Okay,
My
let's
shirt is
stay
gray.
with
Yours probably.
let's stay with the yes. We all got the same color shirt.
We're in the same hue.
Yeah.
Especially when they're the same hue as you. New listings in the D. Don't I don't need that. What this nigga? What?
Yeah, he definitely get you.
Yeah, he hit me with the
Carry on.
The tape.
I thought you
like
were
it's
going back to
Taya.
karaoke.
Like I'm Taya. This is-
My bad.
Whoa.
My bad.
Whoa. July 2023.
My bad.
We got 6,000 new listings on the market. We are down 34% from this time last year, down 8% from this time last month. New pendings, that means people who have put their properties under contract, down 4.6% from this time last month. 5,000 closings, we are down 19% from this time last month. From this time in June, rather. And then the median sold price continues to go up. $550,000 is the median sold price here in the DMV, and we're up from this time last year and down 1% from this time last month. I think we're hitting like a summer turn, which is predictable. Not sure if this is seasonal or if this is indicative of a greater issue in the market. Looks like we had to crash back in January, so if you're kind of waiting for that to happen, you might have missed that wave again. If you were waiting for the pandemic wave, you missed that one, and then we just missed another wave in January. So now we're at an all-time high, and it doesn't look like it's going down anytime soon because we don't have. It doesn't look like we're having much inventory coming to the market anytime soon. So, like we always say, if you're looking to buy for what you can afford today, not what you think it will be tomorrow.
Can I say something?
No.
Okay, but I think that.
I always wonder why people say they go like this. Hey, can I ask you a question? No.
there's y'all seen this new wave of people getting sick again, right?
Yeah.
You mean like
COVID.
normal day,
Yeah.
like every day?
More people getting diagnosed with COVID again. And I'm wondering if this is starting to trickle back in the market again. You're starting to see Instagram posts about it again. And that's going to begin to inform things like it did before, and then people are going to be like, oh, well, if it happened like it did last time, then the rate's going to go down again. And you know what I'm saying? Like, because people are already picking up on this wave of, I'm talking about it now. So I just hope people are not waiting for the same thing to happen.
But
like
that's not the reason the rates went down. That was just the rates were down at that point.
The rates were in the like the mid fours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the mid
In 2019.
in the mid fours, and then they shot up for 2 weeks in April to like low sevens, and then it fell through the floor like I said sixes, mid sixes. And
Before
then
the pandemic?
like when
It was around March, April, everybody was scared.
Yeah, and then like it spiked because we didn't know like what was going on for those like week and a half, 2 weeks, and then like after they figured out, oh, this is like really worldwide, doom, 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 then the rates kept coming down, and then we were like back into the fours. It's gonna keep going back in now the threes, and then we hit like 2.9, 2.7, 2.5. So like that all happened within a matter of probably like 60 days. So I'm just thinking like,
I don't think that has anything to do with it, bro. I think that
I'm just hoping people don't try to.
I don't think
that.
that. I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, it's a different thing every time. Like, there's no way anybody could have predicted mortgage-backed securities would crash the insurance markets, and then that would cause a run on the banks, and then a 2008 like massive wave foreclosure. Like, nobody could have predicted that. Nobody could have predicted a pandemic, 2% high interest, like low interest rate unicorn market. So if you think it's going to happen the same way that it happened last time, like, we just keep kind of rehashing the
It's
same
not.
thing. You're trying to play the lottery and hoping for a lottery ticket. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Just like stop
that's a
trying to
loser
time the
strategy.
market.
Right.
Overall, like the whole time the market thing, just get that out your head. Like,
Because the whole time the market is continuing to go up. Like the people that's in the market, like we're getting bags on our properties,
yeah.
and people just sitting double dutching, like waiting. It's like we're making money like every month on our properties, and then there's people over here like, oh well, hope the market crashes so that I can get in. So, well,
I'm upset I don't own more property.
bro, I wish I'd have bought. That's that. I think that's everybody. Like, when was the best time to buy a house? 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's the universal answer.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think the uptick in cases is more related to the election cycle than anything. But let's get to the real estate hot or not.
Come on, Nick. You know it by now.
Let's run it
1, 2, 3. Let's get to the real estate hot
or
not. What are you gonna say?
I ain't gonna say that, but do what you do. Say that.
That's your man today, bro. You know what I mean?
This your section. Let's get to the real estate hot or not.
Would you rather stay the age you are physically forever, or stay the way you are now financially forever?
What?
Age physically.
Age.
Okay. Say
Who would want to stay the way they are financially? I mean, if you thought you were gonna lose it, I guess, but
Nah,
yeah,
even still.
Yeah.
I'm just asking a question. Would you
What about
rather,
you?
Oh, same physically forever. Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse?
Zombie.
I'll take
Robot.
the robots.
Robot apocalypse.
You could always blast off the EMP.
No, but I feel like the robots would just get me up out of here faster than the zombies would. Like the zombies going like eat, like they going, like it's gonna be too much. Like it's gonna be more gruesome. The zombies they gonna just bow, quick death.
You mean the robots?
The robots, I meant the robots. It's gonna be quick death.
What if the robots don't do a quick death and they just like plug you up and use your body for energy and keep you like?
Then I made the wrong decision.
That's wild.
You know what I mean?
That's wild.
You chose it correctly.
Yeah.
I'll take the robots.
I think I'd probably go with the zombie.
I mean, it would be cool to get bitten by a zombie and then
no.
turn into a zombie.
I think I
Because
shoot.
then you really didn't die.
Exactly, and you got super strength.
Yeah, I think I can shoot good enough to hit him in the head or whatever.
You got a double tap. You know about a double tap?
Mm-mm.
And we've already seen Will Smith beat the robots, so we know how to.
We saw him beat the zombies too.
Did he beat the zombies?
They were beaten. Yeah, actually, he did do it.
He wasn't in the zombie.
He actually created the zombie.
Oh, Man in Black?
I Am Legend, bro.
Oh,
I Am Legend. Yeah, he created the
I gotta
zombies,
watch that
actually.
movie again. When I
That was
watched
his
it,
whole thing.
I didn't really get it.
He created the zombies.
Okay.
He created it.
Yeah, it was his experiment. That's the whole thing. That's like the whole movie.
Is it a good
got it.
movie?
It's good.
It's good. I got
Good
it.
enough. It's a Will Smith movie,
Oh, there you go.
He runs, he screams.
Stupid. He had a dog.
got a
Would
dog.
you rather be alone all your life or surrounded by really annoying people?
Alone, bruh. Please.
I'd rather be surrounded by really annoying people because I could joan on them.
Yeah, I go with that one.
You can't be alone, not
Yeah.
a hermit. I gotta.
Yeah,
Because they're gonna be annoying sometimes. They're gonna be annoying.
I go crazy.
No, they'd be
I go
annoying all
crazy
the
by
time.
myself.
I go crazy with annoying people.
Would you rather have a photographic memory or an IQ of over 200?
Photographic memory.
I'll take
Same.
the IQ.
What's that pin number they just put in there?
I'm with you on photographic.
I feel like if I had an IQ, I could like create a program and like figure out the pin number and like.
No, photographic memory is way better.
But then you got to remember everything,
But you remember, you have a photographic
and you
memory.
can't
so it's
forget.
not
What about
big
stuff
deal.
that you want to forget? Like,
But it's not. But I don't think it's a matter of you gotta remember everything. You just actually do remember everything. You don't even have to try.
Like, for example, right? You go
You gotta-
somewhere.
so you can't forget. That sucks. I'd rather forget.
I'd rather somebody show me something and then I look at it and then I know how to do it, forever than to
And
have
bank
something.
it.
There's a bunch of people with the high IQs. They're not doing that well on
That's
life.
true.
There you know, cats be coughing over here, bro.
Would you rather be always stuck in traffic but find a perfect parking spot, or never hit traffic but always take forever to park?
Never be in traffic. What's forever to park? Define forever. 10 minutes?
15, 20 minutes?
I'd never be in traffic because I could just gauge. I'm like, all right, if I get to take 20 minutes to find a spot, I'm going to just leave it at this time, but I'm going to float through traffic.
So what's the question? Never be in traffic?
Never be in traffic but always take forever to park, or get stuck in traffic but when you get out of traffic you always find a perfect parking spot?
I'd rather never be in traffic.
Yeah, I can't. Like traffic, being stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
I can't. All right, fall for all the people that skip holidays. It's a little bit of irritation. Let's leave it. Let's just leave it. All right, so one got to go forever. Pumpkin spice, s'mores, candy corn, or caramel apples.
Ooh, pumpkin spice. To be fair, I never tried a pumpkin spice.
I don't know what the big allure is to pumpkin spice.
So I don't get. Wait, do you have a Snickers, bro?
Bro, I got a fucking hair or something in my throat, bro.
Where?
Pause. And it's down deep inside.
Whoa, pause. Whoa, hey yo. Hey, you cursing on the pod, bro.
I'm gonna edit that out. And you was cussing. You cussed the first like 30 seconds of the pod.
It was a light word. It was a light curse.
No, that was a heavy joint, bro. And you know his daughter listens to this, bro.
Why you keep doing?
I'm just trying to add some sympathy to you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm getting rid of pumpkin spice. Candy corn's great.
Candy corn's
s'mores-
amazing, bro.
Great.
Candy corn is great.
There's
bro.
only two types of people.
Yeah,
You
wow.
love it or you hate it.
And they got the pumpkins too. The pumpkin. Lauren, she eats the pumpkins. The pumpkins are better than the candy.
You don't like candy corn?
S'mores?
No.
You can't get rid of s'mores, bro. And I don't want to eat a caramel apple. That's not my thing. But I'd rather have that than pumpkin spice.
What is pumpkin spice?
It's like nutmeg, cinnamon,
Like a candy
clove.
or
No, it's
coffee?
a spice combination. Like
A drink?
Like more commonly, people drink pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks.
the spice.
That's a latte, but like, what is the
you saying
actual
what's
like
in
pumpkin
spice?
spice?
So you got like
No, but I'm saying you spice other things with pumpkin
yes,
spice, like a
yes,
seasoning.
Yes, and inside the pumpkin spice blend is like
Why is that in the same category with candy corn?
because it's all like fall stuff. When fall starts
seasonal
happening,
stuff. Oh, okay, got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no, get rid of the pumpkin crap.
okay, pumpkin spice. You can kick candy corn out. I'm straight with that. I don't even like s'mores
You know,
like that
these-
for real, but I do
yeah.
like graham crackers.
You don't like s'mores?
Now I like.
You don't like
it's,
s'mores?
It's the marshmallow part that
You
gets
mean
me.
the
like,
best part?
What are you talking about, bro?
You
Don't
mean the
tell-
best part?
Don't tell anybody else that.
What don't you like? The sweetness, the crunchiness, the gooiness?
It's too sweet. Number
I've
one,
never
it's too
heard of
sweet.
anything being too
You
sweet.
can say-
I rock with caramel apple. Anyway, so we're gonna skip another one. So this is Christmas movie edition.
I hate Christmas movies. Except Home Alone.
So one got to go: Home
Part
Alone,
one.
Elf, A Christmas Story, or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
You're missing like the actual best Christmas movie.
Which is what this Christmas because we got Chris Brown in it.
Christmas
The-
Story.
the
Chris
best-
Brown.
the
Why
best-
you gotta go with Chris Brown?
The best Christmas movie is Friday After Next.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at that one. But that's what was on the that was.
I don't
what
remember.
they chose.
I've never seen Elf because it's goofy.
I didn't know Friday After
Home
Next
Alone
was a
I saw
Christmas
when I
movie.
was 7, so I don't remember the Home Alone movies. For
Really?
real. I just remember somebody was trying to break in and he was trying to prevent it. I'm sure if I watched it now, I'd be like, this movie is hella dumb. And
It's
the
actually
other
funny.
two, I don't.
It's pretty funny.
This Christmas is cool.
It's a bunch of
So
simple
this Christmas
assaults,
ain't an
though.
option. It's Christmas Story. Christmas Story with
That's
the
Scrooge, right?
No, that's the one where you got the lamp that looks like the leg and he sticks his tongue on the pole.
Fragile?
I don't really watch
Six-
Christmas movies. bro.
Fragile?
I watch Friday After Next every.
You ain't never seen a Christmas Story? You ain't never seen
You ain't never seen.
a Christmas Story?
You ain't
Christmas
down. You ain't hip hop. You ain't down for the culture.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
Story? Oh, what?
a Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story?
I never saw.
You ain't never seen Elf? No.
No.
Elf?
I don't like it either.
No, I never seen Elf.
Which one?
Which one
Elf
gotta
can
go?
go for me. I don't like the movie. Is Will
Actually,
Ferrell-
I've never seen a National Lampoon thing. Looks
Okay.
stupid. I'm not a Chevy Chase guy, even though he was before my time. So that can go.
All right. I'm gonna
And
finish
in
up.
its place, I'll replace it with Home Alone 2, which was the greater of the Home Alone.
Okay. Last three. One
Last
gotta go.
three.
Sports edition. NHL, NFL, NBA, or baseball.
Come on, bro. There's a bunch of black people here, bro. We not watching hockey like that.
Hockey's legit when you go to the game, though.
We go to the game, but we not watching hockey like that, bro.
But it's good for real estate and networking and giving away the tickets. Baseball is too.
NHL, bro.
Baseball's boring to watch, though, bro.
No, baseball's great. Actually, like a
No,
really
it's
good
good to-
baseball game.
Baseball can kick rocks.
No. If you
It's boring to watch on TV.
playoff baseball,
Playoff
7
baseball
innings
is
and
cool-
out,
it's
it
cool.
gets intense.
I mean, playoff
Those
baseball-
actually
Wait a minute. You said 7 innings and up. They got 9 innings. So basically, what you're saying is forget the whole season, get to the playoffs, and just let me watch.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna watch 120 games. You know what I mean? But
they got like 300.
I was actually watching.
They got like 700 games, bro.
I was actually watching the Little League, Major League, the Little League.
Ooh, the Little League World Series.
It was great.
Dog, those kids are good.
It was actually fun. Christian's gonna play baseball too, so I gotta become more.
Yeah, my son already plays baseball.
Christian was actually they were out here last weekend hitting the ball of the tee.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One got to go. Jamie Foxx, Martin, Steve Harvey, or Kevin Hart.
Jamie Foxx.
Ooh, Jamie Foxx definitely gotta stay.
Jaime.
Martin definitely gotta stay.
Jamie Foxx who?
I might have to say
Jamie Foxx, Kevin Hart, Martin Lawrence, or Steve Harvey.
No, you said
I get rid of Kevin, man. And I used to be a big Kevin fan, but I'm just tired of him.
I might have to say Steve Harvey, bro.
You know he ripped his abdomen, right? He tore his abdomen. You see that?
Kevin Hart racing?
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair, bro.
Yeah. I might have to say Steve Harvey, bro.
No,
because Steve Harvey was the weakest on the Kings of Comedy.
Yeah,
so I'm
but
not gonna miss
Steve
him.
Harvey
He got
is
the longevity.
He's
bro.
the uncle that's so funny, bro. Like
he had a
like,
good show,
and
but
drop dime. Like he give you
He
so
got
much game.
Family Feud. He got Family Court.
He didn't start Family Feud.
But he's on it and he's cranking it. Like,
he's doing well.
He's doing very well.
You don't watch Family Feud, bro.
I do. I watched Steve Harvey Family Feud, and I grew up watching Family Feud with Ray Combs. That was before your time.
I grew up watching it with dude from Tim
the Two-Man Taylor?
Yeah.
I don't remember with Tim Allen.
It wasn't Tim Allen. It was Home Improvement was the
Al.
show.
His name was
It was
Al.
Al. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the weakest one.
Hey, y'all remember? I forget his name, but it was the white guy like way back in like 70s, early 80s.
Oh yeah, he used to kiss all the ladies.
Man, everybody he come.
Oh, I saw that video. That was creepy,
Yeah.
bro.
Wow.
You're getting sexually harassed by this guy.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was the 70s, man. It was free love. It was free love.
I'm getting rid of Steve Harvey.
Nah. Kevin Hart gotta go.
Jamie Foxx is the most talented person on the
Jamie
planet.
Foxx is not the most talented.
Yeah,
He's
he
good,
can sing. He can act. He's one of the best actors. He can sing.
He's an okay actor.
He's an okay actor.
Yeah, he's an okay actor.
Man.
He's not the greatest actor. He does the same.
We didn't say greatest.
He literally said he's greatest. He said
I said he's one of the greatest actors. I said he's a great actor.
We can run a replay back. He's not one of the. He does pretty much. But I will say this: all these actors pretty much do the same character in every movie. Brad Pitt's the same character.
How's Ray and
Will
Django?
Smith is
How's
the
Ray
same
and Django
character.
the same?
It's the same character. It's just Ray. It's just Jamie acting. And you telling me he's different in Django than he is in like Ali? It's the same character. Jamie Foxx. Yeah, Jamie Foxx. I will blow you right out of the sky. Like that's Jamie Foxx all day.
What he's saying is he's playing Jamie Foxx in all movies.
He's the same.
But that's what an actor is supposed to do.
No, I led that idea with that statement. Yeah, they
so
all
you don't respect any actors is basically what you're saying.
I respect most of the B-level actors like Tony Shalhoub, the guys that actually like
don't know him.
Exactly, because you don't know him. He played in this movie called Sideways. He played in Winston Churchill movie. Like the ones that actually have to change their.
Do you feel like Robert De Niro plays the same role in the movie?
Yeah, he's the same character
all the time.
All the time.
De Niro?
Yes, De Niro. At a certain level, you're just going to see the movie because of that guy. Tell me this:
De
Tom
Niro plays
Cruise.
a gangster, or he plays an older father type of thing.
He's got two characters. Tom Cruise,
like kind of like old crotchety type of dude.
Tell me, Tom Cruise. What?
Tom Cruise? Yes. Tom Hanks. Have you seen Bridge of Spies?
Which one?
Bridge of Spies, where he played the hostage negotiator.
Tom Hanks is super diverse.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is very, very talented.
He's pretty, but I mean, he's got like three characters. He's got like Castaway Tom Hanks. He's got like Terminal Tom Hanks. Then he's got like obviously like Forrest Gump. That's about it. Because everything else is just like, nah. He's pretty good. He's not super. They're not super versatile. Will Smith, same in every freaking movie. The only he did a little bit different with like Ali, but he's still the same. He's still I Am Legend. He's still Hancock. He's still 7 Pounds. He's still Independence Day. It's the same Will Smith.
You're talking about his overall like character and like how his vibe, like how
Brad Pitt is still Tyler Durden,
right?
He's still Ocean's 11. It's the same character, bro. Tom Cruise is still Mission Impossible. He's still Top Gun. It's the same character, bro. Denzel Washington is still Malcolm X. Bruh. He's still the
we gotta move on because right now
you wild. Disprove me. Denzel Washington is the same character,
there's
bro.
no way
He's still the equalizer.
No, there's no way the Equalizer and
My
Denzel
son's not
Washington
gonna
in
bury- I'm not
Fences
gonna bury
is
my
the same
son.
as Malcolm X.
Huh?
Denzel in Fences is not the same as Malcolm X. Is not the same as.
What?
Did you
It's
see
the
Fences? Did you see
same.
Fences?
Yes, I saw it.
Okay.
Did you see Malcolm X?
A billion times. He's
Did you
not
see
the
John
sa-
Q?
A bunch of times.
Same movie.
he's-
Did you see Flight?
I understand what you're trying to say. It's very disrespectful to the actor.
Don't think that I do.
Come to me, Denzel. I'm telling you, they all
What you say? Come to me, Denzel.
they all got the same like 3 chops. They're not very, most actors are just like them. Like it's just them, man.
One got to go.
That's my controversial take. You can disagree with me.
One
I
got
don't
to
care.
go. Ali, Tyson, Roy Jones, or Floyd Mayweather.
Roy Jones.
Roy Jones.
Agreed. We're the first time in the history of the Real Estate Wire podcast. It must be the shirts because we agree. Because we agree.
Yeah, Roy Jones.
Well,
That's
let's
all I
get
got.
into the comment section.
Uh-oh.
So, very briefly, because I know Nick Bush got to go to the bathroom. In the face, here's a comment on TikTok. In the face of escalating inflation affecting virtually everything, and I cleaned this up too, by the way, because I know your daughter listens to the show. In the face of escalating inflation affecting virtually everything,
I think you gotta see him with the hands after the show, bro.
I got gloves in the truck.
we can do that. I don't need gloves.
You gonna need headgear though.
Nah, you might need headgear. I don't fight.
Ooh. It's a little spicy here right now. What up, yo? Y'all had a little text conference? What's going on?
I'm 41. I don't fight. I just walk in and we just have
All right,
conversation.
let's get to the comment. You know?
I'm trying to get to the comment. If
See what you
shut up.
start? Look, we don't never get like that.
It's me too. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
In the face of escalating inflation affecting virtually everything, are individuals adequately recognizing the harsh reality of prices?
Say it again. This is stupid. Wait, let's say it again.
I know I had to clean it up because they didn't really make much sense. In the face of escalating inflation affecting virtually everything, are individuals adequately recognizing the harsh reality of real estate prices? But I think they mean like overall prices.
I mean, sure. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, because all we're talking about all the time is interest rates are high but it's a seller's market. Yeah, of course people are thinking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like a...
So I think her
there's
comment-
no action.
Her comment is basically saying that I think people think that if they lay out of the market and don't participate in the market, then that's going to like bring down the market, and then eventually prices are going to get lower. So I think what she's trying to say is, or he, but
Is that what they
probably
think?
is she.
They're gonna starve the market.
Everybody don't buy a house. The market will crash.
Listen to me. I know the truth.
Yeah. So I mean, I think people only think about that when it comes to real estate, but nobody thinks about that when it comes to any other product
Nothing.
that they purchase.
Nothing.
Like, nobody's saying anything about, oh, let's stop buying eggs or.
It's probably because you can rent a house and you don't have to own it to live in it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to buy a house to have shelter, and so people can treat it like a commodity.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can't sit out of the market, and whether you're. I mean, because I think now here's the question I got for you, Coach. How does because I haven't really fully understood the correlation. Maybe if I think through it more. The increase in interest rates, the increase in real estate purchases, how does that increase the overall rental market? I guess because the mortgage is more expensive and it costs more for the person to rent to cash flow their property?
I'm not sure I understand. Say it again.
I think I'm formulating a thought. I think I just answered it though. The increase in the real estate prices is going to cause an increase in the person's debt service on the property, and then that's going to increase the amount that they have to rent the property out for. So that's going to overall increase rents anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And that's an investment scenario, right?
Right. So, but he was saying as far as renting, so you can't really sit out of the market regardless whether you're renting or whether you're owning, because rental prices is just going to go up too, because your landlord is paying more for his mortgage now, so. Obviously, he's not going to absorb those costs, right?
Right, yeah. Your rent's going to go up.
So what say you? In the face of escalating inflation, affecting virtually everything, are individuals adequately recognizing the harsh reality of prices?
You know, one thing. So first of all, I appreciate Nick's immediate response because that's what I have typically when.
Yeah, you always be throwing shade on the commenters, bro.
But it ain't just me. Nick is the same way.
These are TikTok comments, man. These are freaking.
He said it's probably bots or whatever, you know.
This is Marcus's response. Marcus's response is usually this. That's stupid.
I ain't never
I
said.
mean, if it's a bad question, it's a bad question. But you should elaborate on why it's a bad question, and then ask the question. So go ahead. I'm gonna let you. You know.
You let me finish. I actually I have a different perspective. I think when people think about the mortgage market or real estate market, when they talk about basically like this concept of starving the market and let the prices go down and all that thing, it hit me. I'm like, do they think of the real estate market like the stock market? Like if a product is not performing well, then the price will go down? Because that ain't how it works, right? Like ultimately, mortgage-backed securities, you know, are affected if they're not selling on secondary and all that. But I think just on its face, I don't think that's a proper perspective. If you're thinking about the real estate market performing and you starve the real estate market, like don't buy, and then it'll drop the rates and drop the prices. That ain't a good method of operation for me. Yeah. And it's not going to work that way because it don't work the same.
Yeah.
So we got one more question for the guests. I got one more question. I'm gonna start asking these questions to our guests now. What's your opinion on flat Earth?
I am so curious to hear this because we got into this last week and
what's your opinion on flat Earth?
That I don't think the Earth is flat.
Thank you.
So then give your rationale for the heliocentric model.
I don't know what the heliocentric model is.
So how can you not believe in flat Earth but not know what heliocentric is?
I don't know, bro. I don't really get in that bag. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm focusing on. Like whether the Earth is flat or not is not really.
But you've heard of it, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about those people? I'm not a flat earther. Let me just disclose that right away.
Time out. You were more on the flat Earth side than you were on the on Earth.
I know a lot about Christianity. I'm not a Christian.
Yeah.
I know a lot about flat Earth. I'm not a flat
This is what I think. I have heard flat Earth arguments.
Kyrie Irving last week.
I have heard, you know, not flat Earth. I didn't retain it enough to be able to repeat it. But the side of the argument that was like anti-flat Earth sounded correct, and that's what I believe. You know, so yeah.
This dude was like, "How come you never see, you know, the satellite pictures? How come if there's 100,000 satellites in orbit at all times, at any given time? How come in the pictures that you see, you never see any other satellites? You know?" And I was like,
Wow. Okay.
And then he started talking about like, well, when they landed on the moon, how did it was kind of like that. How did they end up taking a picture of the person landing on the moon and all that? And
you had this person in here.
Yeah.
I was just asking.
So all right. So I have a couple other better. So somebody told me once. I guess if you Google it or if you Google NASA, it says like hidden in plain sight. Right? Oh, hidden in plain sight. Right? I think if you Google it, it says that. And I'm just like, oh, so NASA just was like allowed that to be Googleable. Like cool. And then someone told me this before. So you know how they say that the Earth rotates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what the person said to me. They were like, well, if the Earth rotates, then if it rotated, if you woke up in DC, you would end up on the other side of the world because the Earth is rotating and you just standing still.
Whoa.
So you end up on the other side of the world.
Whoa.
So this is what the flat earthers believe, bro. So
Yo, this is
I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I believe in.
I've heard this one from some flat earthers where they're like, well, if the Earth is a globe, when you throw the ball up and the Earth is moving, how come the ball lands in the same place? If it was really rotating when you throw the ball up, then since we're moving, the ball should fall over here and not over here.
I would say that's what should happen when you jump there.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you throw a flat piece of paper up in the air, then it's because of
wind.
Be all over the place.
No, that's a different thing. But I think that's a different thing. What are you talking about? We're talking about a spherical object.
I know, but like, but who's throwing up the Earth and who's throwing up a flat Earth or the globe or whatever? Like,
Well, the actual rebuttal to that statement is like when you're driving a car and you throw a ball up, the ball doesn't go backwards and land where the car was if you're going 70 miles an hour. The ball goes with you because the ball is trapped inside of the gravity of the car. So when you throw a ball up on Earth, the ball is still trapped on the gravity of the Earth, which we're all getting sucked to the ground of the Earth because we're trapped inside the gravity of the Earth. That's the argument that I've heard for the heliocentric model. Bro. All right, so you're not a flat earther.
No.
All right,
Thank God.
three non-flat earthers here.
Yeah.
I just like to ask questions. That's all. Just like to ask questions.
I got some damn sense. This is going to go into the conspiracy theory part of YouTube.
They're going to flag our account for saying unapproved thoughts. If you are listening on iTunes, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us if you think the earth is flat or round. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, share. We like to keep it light here at the Real Estate Wire. Nick Bush, where can they find you at, brother?
So, first of all, we have a podcast that drops every Friday. It's about real estate also. It's called Real Estate Explained. You can find it in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. Subscribe to that. And then you can also follow me on Instagram at Nick Bush the Realtor. And then you can follow our company's page because I help people buy and sell real estate as well at the address DMV on the gram.
Hey, we should call you the Scratchy Voice Realtor.
Is my voice that scratchy?
Yeah, it's pretty
I
scratchy.
have like a raspy voice.
Yeah.
it's got a rasp to it.
Yeah, those are
Is
synonyms. Those are synonyms.
Yeah, those are synonyms. I don't realize that my voice is raspy. I thought it was just like normal, deep, you know.
Where can they find you at, Coach?
At Fields Mortgage Group at Mortgage Coach Marcus.
And I am Dan Wheeler Sells Homes. For Scratchy Voice Nick, for the Coach Marcus, I'm Dan Wheeler Sells Homes on all platforms. Thank you so much for checking out the Real Estate Wire. We are out.
Got you. See, we say stop. We say we are. Oh, okay, no, we are out. We say we are.
No, I like to be like a little bit more grammatically correct.
Coming on the podcast Friday, bro?
Yeah, me and my schedule. I got an appointment.